Hello and welcome to Postbag with me, Chanel Shea Calvin.
And me, Lee Bannister.
Well, over the next half an hour or so, we're going to be taking our regular look back over some of the highlights from this week here on Big Centre TV.
Plus, we'll be saying what you've been saying to us.
Now remember, if you'd like to talk to us about anything at all, then why not get in touch? On social media, which is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube, you can do a search for us. Just search Big Centre TV or email us on postbag@bigcentre.tv.
Or you can put pen to paper and write to us. And our address, if it comes up there, see, do well with that, don't I? It's Postbag, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
Can I make it disappear?
Oh, you can
I
do it.
That's so cool.
She's very good, isn't she?
Okay, well, very soon we're going to be expanding this programme into the Big Centre magazine, and the idea is to bring you even more interesting things from around the Big Centre region.
And this is where we're going to make you a very special offer. See, if you're part of a local community group or initiative, or you know something or someone local who would benefit from a bit of free publicity, then give us a shout.
Perhaps there's something happening locally, or maybe something that needs a bit of support, or something that you think might be of interest to someone else. Well, that's what we're looking for. And if you know of someone who might want to come in and have a chat with us, then that's even better.
Yeah, they can sit right here on the sofa and tell us what's going on. So spread the word, tell your friends as well that our community news section is on its way. And remember, it's all totally free.
Best things in life are free, aren't they?
Of course they are.
They are. So just contact us in the usual way, so on social media. Just look us up at Big Centre TV, or you can email postbag@bigcentre.tv.
Do you want to click your fingers again?
Shall I click them?
Go. There it is, there's the address. It's Postbag, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall.
WS1 1RL.
She's got it right. Can I do it now?
Yeah, okay.
Hey.
Oh, and if you missed any of that, because, well, we'll give you the details again later on in the programme.
We'll be clicking our fingers once more.
We will be.
Now, this weekend is Fusion Festival, and it features the likes of McBusted, Tidy Temper, and even Ed Sheeran.
I love Ed Sheeran.
I know you do. All of last week now, you've been sending in your entries to the free ticket competition.
And all you had to do was let us know where this year's Fusion Festival was being held. Do you know the answer, Lou?
It's on the screen in front of
It is on the screen in front of you. Wow.
It's Cofton Park.
It is Cofton. How did you guess that?
I have no idea.
So I just want to say a big well done to everyone who got it right, including you, Lou.
Oh, thank you.
And I can tell you that the winners are...
It's a drum roll.
I think you need a bit of help there.
It just sounds like I'm knocking a piece of wood. Anyway, who are the winners?
Well, the winners are Dean Shaw, Georgina Allen and Sarah Sadiqa.
Yes, congratulations. I'm sure you're going to have a great time. And your tickets are going to be waiting for you at the box office.
Now make sure you get in touch with us to tell us how it went, and look out for more competitions in the future here on Big Centre TV.
Now it's time for a look at what we've been enjoying during this week. And let's kick off with our sports-related chat show, Extra Time. Presenters Gary and James visited Nailcut Hall Farm Foods Par 3 Championships, and they caught up with sporting stars and pro golfers, which included sports psychologist Pete Cohen, cricketer Johnny Bairstow, and Charlie Hull, who was the 2014 Ladies European Tour Order of Merit winner.
What a title.
I know, very careful.
So here is James Brackful talking to BBC football pundit Peter Schmeichel.
Peter, first let's talk about the golf. You've already played here. How did you get on yesterday?
I didn't score too well. I played okay. Just got the usual unlucky breaks. Usual excuses, aren't they? You know, you don't hit it in the right place. You make bogey, or if you hit the water, double bogey. So, but it was all right, and you know, eventually the winner was not too far away from me. So, I'm quietly confident about today.
I was going to say you're going around today. What lessons, if any, have you learned from yesterday?
It's a tough track. You can't hit a bad shot, so it's all about concentration. It's all about staying with every shot and not get ahead of yourself. And sometimes bogey is a really good score, and if you are a competitive person, you don't think bogeys are good scores at times, but here it can be. I've just seen one of my friends take 8 on one of the holes for literally just hitting a bad tee shot. So this is what this course can do to you. So just stay with it, concentrate, and see what happens.
How does Nailcut Hall compare with other par 3s in the country, even in Denmark?
This is very unique. It's small, the greens are very small. All of them are either elevated or it has water and some of them has water and are elevated and it's got bunkers around as well. And as I say, if it's a bit firm and you don't hit the right spot on the green, they just roll off, and you could be in. I mean, the bunkers are so small. You can be up against the face of the bunker. You could be up against the back with no shot. So you know, this is just for me. This is the toughest golf I've ever played in my life.
That was James Brackpool and football pundit Peter Schmeichel.
Now, Amped is our popular weekly roundup of everything rock, punk and metal. It features the freshest music information that gives you a heads up on the best gigs and shows.
So let's see which guest joined Johnny Doom on the sofa this week.
I've got Burn Down Rydell on the sofa. You might have heard me play them on the show. Hello, guys.
How you doing?
Would you like to introduce yourselves, just so we've got a name to the face?
Yeah, I'm Charlie and I play drums.
I'm Andy and I don't play drums.
I'm Ian and I play bass. I'm Paul, mostly guitars.
Yeah, I picked up on you guys. Emma Scott sent me some stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, Burn Down Rydell, that's a Grease, you know, Grease-related name. You don't want to burn down Rydell School, do you?
Only because of the misery it caused me at 80s discos as a child.
But yeah, well, I had a listen. Really competent, really nice melodies. Definitely a nod to, I suppose, American influences,
sure.
and kind of American college rock almost. But just loved it. And then she sent me a video as well, which we're going to watch later on, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, where are you guys from? When did you get together? You know, that kind of thing. How did it all begin?
We're all from like the Wolverhampton area, and I think we've been together now heading on for 2 years, haven't we?
2 years,
yeah. Got together with Ian. I was actually tattooing him at the time, and decided to do some demos. Ian got Charlie involved because they've been playing music together since they were like kids. And then Paul actually saw the fight video and got in contact, and eventually we sort of got together and just, you know, we're here now with you, so it's all good.
And you can catch Johnny Doom with Amped on Wednesday nights at 10. Right, the next clip we're going to look at is from one of this week's musical editions of Cuppa TV.
Yeah, singer-songwriter James Cottrell came back to the studio and performed for us once again, while Kelly Moneymaker travelled all the way from Nashville, Tennessee to drop by and have a chat with Monica Price.
So here she is sharing how her career all started.
Well, I was born and raised in Fairbanks, Alaska. And you know, the winters are long, dark, and cold. So everyone sits around and we play music. And so my friends and I would just crank. You know, my family was always cranking music, and the friends and I would just sit around and jam and write our own songs. And so by 11, I had enough material to record my first EP.
Wow, by 11 years old.
Yeah,
That's
I saved
incredible.
my babysitting money.
Yay!
And I found a studio in the middle of nowhere in Fairbanks called Dome Recording.
Yeah.
And I recorded there, hired local musicians to play, and then I flew to Seattle at 13 to have it properly mixed.
Wow, I didn't realise that, but now you've said about Alaska, because they do have very long, dark days.
Yes.
That makes sense to make music, why not?
Absolutely,
You know, that's
yeah.
it. And so that really inspired you, presumably, to continue what's been an amazing career for you.
Yes, it has. I've been very, very lucky to be able to do what I love to do and make a living at it. So I support my music habit by singing with many other people.
Yeah. And when you're writing, presumably you continue to write now, of course. When you're writing, do you like to collaborate with other artists, or do you write solely?
No, I write in different situations all the time. Sometimes I'll write a song all by myself. Sometimes I collaborate with one person. In Nashville, it's usually 4 people in a room. You know, everyone has their part, and that's a lot of fun.
OK, we've met Kelly. Now let's see her in action. This is Kelly Moneymaker performing Skipping Stones on this week's Cuppa TV.
When I was a little girl, I didn't know how to be a little girl. I wanted to be a boy, more than anything in the whole world. I could punch, kick, and fly, just like one of the guys. And then one day, everything changed, and I got a funny feeling inside. Down by the river, we were all alone. You gave me my first kiss, skipping stones. Down by the river, we were all alone. And I found love, 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 skipping stones. A few years later, down by the river, we were wasting the day away. kissing, caressing, a whole lot of messing went way on past first base. And just last week, down by the river, you and I were letting them fly. They went skip, skip, we went skinny dipping naked in the moonlight, down by the river.
Okay, so that's it for part 1, but don't go anywhere as we'll see you after this short break. Hello and welcome back to Postbag with me, Chanel Shea Calvin.
And me, Lee Bannister.
Now, are you aged between 16 and 18 and serious about a career in broadcast media? Well, if you are, Big Centre TV and Warsaw Studio School have teamed up to deliver a full-time course.
Yep, this includes working with Big Centre TV staff on films, TV series and short films, all in our real broadcast studios in Warsaw. That's right here. And on location too.
And if that sounds like something that interests you, then contact the studio school on 01922 621 951 with the extension number 321 to just find out a little bit more about it.
Yeah, get in touch if you like this sort of thing. Yeah, you do well too. Right now, it's time to delve into the old postbag and see what you've been saying to us.
Yep.
We need a postbag, actually.
We
don't
actually do.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
And Ed Ruan, I've pronounced that right, haven't I?
Yes, I think so.
It is Ruan, has been pleased to see the range of sport here on Big Centre. He says, big thanks for the wheelchair tennis. Nice to see parasport on TV.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
It is nice, isn't it?
We aim to please, Ed, and if you've got a favourite sport that doesn't really get enough TV exposure, why don't you let us know? Good idea, isn't it?
It is.
Now, Gary Jordan has been in touch and he says, great to know the Coffin Works, Newman Brothers, will be featured in a future edition of Doorstep History. He says, I used to visit Newman's on a regular basis as I worked for another company making funeral furniture. Newman's used to send their work to us as their equipment was so old and kept breaking down.
Oh.
Yeah, he says, I'm there next Friday filling in some of the gaps in the history of Newman's. That's interesting,
That
isn't it?
is interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, and it's good to see someone with personal interest getting involved.
Yes.
And again, if you know of someone with any interesting stories, why not let us know? And perhaps you could also be involved in the making of the programme.
Yeah, why not? Just get in touch, yeah. Next, we've had a message from Nick J. Townsend. Now, Nick writes a music column in RGG magazine, which he tells us is the Midlands' biggest and longest running printed music magazine stroke gig guide. And Nick says in the September issue, amongst other delights, he's featuring, in his words, Johnny Doom's brilliant new TV show Amped on Big Centre TV.
Nice.
So one to watch out for there, I reckon. Now, that's RGG magazine. You can find out more at www.ryansgigguide.com. RGG, get that?
I'm definitely going to check that out myself, to be fair.
Well, you can like him on Facebook as well. Just look up RGG, Ryan's Gig Guide on there. And finally, following on from our chats about local accents last week.
No, please not again.
Local accents.
Local accents.
A friend of mine has been in touch to correct something I said.
Oh, really?
I know, I don't know what accent that was. Anyway, Donna Morris, now who I remember as Donna Hughes at primary school, tells me that the actual phrase is keep out the oss road, not mind the horse.
Oh, it doesn't really make any more sense than the previous one, but at least we've got it right.
Keep out the oss road. No, what it means is that the horse is going by and he might just sort of leave you a little present, so just watch out for his sort of back end.
Oh.
And do you know, on the day after we did that last week, I actually saw a horse and trap travelling through Tipton. Absolutely true.
Did you keep out the oss road?
I was
what
drunk.
accent was that? It sounded a bit like a robot. Anyway,
Where we gone?
It's been at the heart of the town centre since the beginning of 1900s, and now it's going to be thrust back into the limelight with a £1 million revamp.
Where is it? It's Walsall Town Hall, and it's become something of a relic recently, but that's all about to change after bosses have outlined plans in the hope of attracting high-profile acts to perform gigs at the venue, and also couples who are looking for that perfect wedding location.
And Roshni Patel went to meet the leader of the Warsaw Council to find out more.
Well, Walsall Town Hall is, as you see, a beautiful building, and it is a listed building, so we have a duty to make sure that it's kept up to standard. We are custodians of this premise for the people of Walsall, so we have plans to invest into this magnificent building because it is required by law. When they leave this venue, I'd like them to leave with a positive rather than a negative, because whenever you go anyway, oh, it was a great concert, but oh, the state of the toilets or the queue for the bar are the things that people remember.
So the building's been at the centre of the town since 1902, but in recent years it's been in the shadows. Why do you think this is?
I think it's purely and simply because of cost, and as you can see from in here and indeed outside, the building does need a bit of TLC, so that's what we're looking at this point in time. And we hope this will be here for another 100 and plus years, and so therefore we have to make sure that it's in the best state of repair.
I mean, it's quite a historic and profound building, isn't it? With the likes of Slade, Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath all performing here in the 1960s and 70s. I mean, is that the atmosphere that you're trying to rebuild?
I think anything that brings Walsall back onto the map as a venue, then quite honestly, yes, I would say that we want to make sure that people have Walsall as a destination, and that's really what we're trying to do.
What's the timescale for this revamp?
Well, the timescale is that, obviously we've got to look at the actual work that's required, cost that work, and then obviously complete it. So that's probably in a 12 to 18 month period.
And lastly, Mike, what will this £1 million revamp mean for the future of Walsall?
I think it'll be a start, because obviously £1 million is a lot of money, but with a listed building it doesn't go very far. But I think what we have to do is to put in a programme of constant repair and maintenance for year on year, and that's difficult with funding the way it is from central government.
Next, people visiting venues around Dudley will now be able to access free Wi-Fi, that's really cool that is, with the launch of Dudley Connect.
Yes, the council has extended its Wi-Fi access to include buildings such as Dudley Town Hall, the Cornbow Hall and Himley Hall.
Now, Lindsay Smith spoke to Councillor David Sparks about the new changes.
What we're doing in Dudley Council is, in effect, bringing the Dudley into the digital age. We are upgrading our Wi-Fi system and at the same time increasing the amount of free access to Wi-Fi at all of our halls and where we have our major events.
And what kind of buildings are affected by this change?
Mainly the halls that are used for entertainment and weddings, where people congregate, and we found with our experience is that people tend to want to be able to use the online facilities so that they can share the experiences of a wedding or an event and say how they are enjoying it.
And how did this change come about?
Because Dudley has got a policy of being a community council. That means that we want to embrace the community, we want to go out to the community, and that means nowadays in the digital age that you have to be digital yourself. So the council has to get online.
And are there plans to expand this further?
We're going to expand this as much as we possibly can to all of our council activities. Obviously price is a factor, cost is a factor, and we're starting off with the events. This is part of the way in which we can reinvigorate democracy. It's a very, very fundamental thing that we are doing. We're getting away from the old style of operating councils to a new, modern, instant, universal, digital, switched on system.
Oh, I love a bit of free Wi-Fi.
Oh, I can't beat it, can you?
Now, actor and comedian Sir Lenny Henry decided to premiere his new BBC One drama, Danny and the Human Zoo, in his hometown of Dudley.
Yeah, the one-off drama, which was written by and stars the comedian, is a fantasy memoir of his teenage years, and it's going to be screened on BBC One on Bank Holiday Monday, August 31st at 9 p.m.
Tom Bowen caught up with the man himself, Sir Lenny Henry.
It's a story of a young black guy who grows up in Dudley, who he's funny, and his friends encourage him to go on stage at a talent competition at Dudley Zoo, and he wins that talent competition, and then he goes on to audition for a television program called New Faces, and he wins that. And basically, the structural part of it is very similar to my life, but I've made some omissions, I've changed things. Some characters say more than they did in real life. Some people say less than they did in real life. But I hope that it's entertaining and that it's funny and it gives people a flavour of what my life was like in those days. But a lot of it is definitely not what happened, but some of it is. And only the people who were there will know what's true and what isn't true.
So Lenny Henry there. And if you used to like to watch him on a certain Saturday morning show in the 70s and early 80s, then stay tuned to Big Centre TV, as I'm making something that you're going to love very soon.
Oh.
What could it be? I think you can guess.
Okay, that's all for your Postbag this week. Now remember, as we said earlier, Postbag is changing and expanding very soon.
By my waistline, actually.
Oh, stop it! Oh, so why not give us a shout about your community news and information too, as it's a way for you or anyone you know to promote something positive going on local to you. And best of all, the publicity is absolutely free. So what have you got to lose?
Nothing at all. So for that, or if there's anything you'd like to talk to us about, then on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, just look us up, Big Centre TV. Or if you want to email us, then it's postbag@bigcentre.tv. Time to click again.
Oh, you didn't even wait for me.
It didn't work that time, you see, there's nothing. Go on, you do it.
Yeah.
She has the magic finger, you see.
And our postal address, as you can see, is Postbag, Big Centre TV, 14A Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
I like that. I like
It's
that.
good, isn't it?
I'll hold you to do that every week then.
Or you can just read it yourselves.
Do you want to click it so it disappears?
Shall
Go.
I? Oh,
Hey,
it's gone. Well, I'll be back with What's On Monday night at 7.
And I'll be back on Crossroads Check It.
And we'll both be back at the same time next week, so we'll see you then.
Ta-ra a bit.
Ta-ra!